Hey folks, Justin Thayer, teamthayer.com, Team Thayer Official. Today I'm going to go over the 3 questions you need to be asking the real estate professional who is going to sell your home that you're not asking. The 3 questions that are the most important that you're absolutely not asking. And here's how I know you're not asking, because the only way that people know, the only information that people get on how to interview real estate brokers come from the real estate brokers or the agencies, the National Association of Realtors, or entities. You know, it doesn't come from, you know, when reporters are doing stories, or you read stories by, you know, people that are supposed to be knowledgeable on the subject. They're getting their information from either some kind of entity or that is making money on the fees, licensing, or promotion of realtors, or the brokers and realtors themselves. So here's what you've never been told to ask, but what you absolutely should be asking. So first and foremost, let's break this down to what real estate sales is, what realty is, what real estate brokerage is. It's the selling of real property. So it's selling, it's big ticket item sales, right? So the first most important question, or the least most important of the top 3, so we're going to start at 3, is going to be, what did you do before you got into real estate? Before you were a real estate sales professional, what did you do? That's the question you're going to ask. This is why that's important, right? Usually with any type of sport, job, skill, you're going to start at the bottom level, if you will. You gotta learn to crawl before you can walk. You gotta learn to walk before you can run. All right. And what happens with real estate, it seems to me, is a lot of people start at the top. Right? You start at the top, which is crazy to me. Not having any sales experience whatsoever, and then going out, getting some brokerage knowledge on the laws, contracts, and ethics codes that the state requires, and then going ahead and taking over the responsibility for hundreds of thousands of people's hard-earned dollars, right? Right. It just seems like there should be a entrance step to that, perhaps. Right? Kirby vacuums to cars, to maybe even advertising or equipment or something, a little step up for that. And then you start handling, you know, a $200,000 to $500,000 of people's money in a sales environment where you are working for the owner of the home as the sales professional to gain them the most money, to litigate their risk legally and get them the very best terms of the sale. So what did you do before? Right? Was a guy a logger, jumped right in, got his broker's license, right? And you know, and that's just something to consider. Number 2, the second most important question to ask is, what type of systems do you use? And why? And here's why I touch on systems. Systems are great to a point. But what I find is when you are too reliant on systems, when a real estate broker is too reliant on systems, they're not selling. Right? They're not actively selling, marketing the individual's home in that individual neighborhood with that individual floor plan, that individual look, appeal, etc. Right? It's not a one-size-fits-all business. And what I find is real estate brokers rely way too much on systems so they can focus on new business right? So we can get to the number 3 and the most important question. The most important question. Number 3. Not are you a part of the $1 million clobber, right? Which in this day and age you should be part of that within a few months. It's not whether you're how many you sell. It's your list to close ratio. What is your list to close ratio? Let's break this down and put this in perspective, folks. If your professional sells 100 homes in a year, but they took 200 listings, that is a fail rate, right? It is a 50-50 rate. So, 100 people are not happy. 100 people wasted time. 100 people feel they're not feeling good, right, about the situation. I think list to close ratio is something I've always been attuned to. Real estate is the only profession I've been in. I've been in sales since 1998. Before that, I worked in a titanium factory. Before that, on a farm, right? And the fail rate that is noted, or the fail rate that we basically have in real estate for what gets listed to what sells in any other profession would be not even close to acceptable. All right. When I was in real estate school, they gave me a little sheet. This is how you figure out how much, if you want to make X amount of dollars, here's the formula, right? I had the same type of sheet when I was in the car business too. I never used them, nor do I use them now in real estate. But the one thing that stood out about real estate was they had figured in a 30% fail rate on list to close ratio. So of the homes that the realtor was listing, the goal was to only fail 30% of the time. That is a losing team, my friends. Folks, that is a losing team. I could never get into that. There is a business model that does work on a low listing rate with a high close rate. Low listing rate, high close rate. All right? Putting maximum effort into your individual clients and listings, and guaranteeing repeat and referral business through a statistically high close rate. Right? You should, in my opinion, a acceptable fail rate is 0. It's 0. Of course, that's impossible, right? But every once in a while, something's going to happen. But my fail rate needs to be 0. I do not fail my clients. Even if we have to make another plan, relist at a different time, do some repairs and relist, I'm going to get the job done. Right? List to close ratio at 30% horrible. So let's review. Number 1 question: what did you do before you were selling my very expensive home? Before you were handling hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Were you working in a sawmill? Right? Got some legal and ethics knowledge under your belt, and now you're dealing with my financial future. Number 2, are you just gonna plug me into a system and not sell my home, not adjust and make advertising and make sure that I'm going to get most as a product, and make sure that I'm going to get the most money and the most successful shot at getting my home sold for the most amount of money? Most important. Not how much did you sell, how many millions, how many billions. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if that broker sells 10 or 20 houses a year only, but does a perfect job for 10 to 20 clients. The number's a little low, but right, that I would rather hire them, as long as it's not 10 to 20 and they're doing a crappy job, right? I would rather hire them as long as their list to close ratio is impeccable. no fail. If you're gonna write anything over 5% list to close, fail rate, right? So they need to be closing 95%. They need to prove it. You need to be asking for numbers, looking at their systems. Okay, the internet is out there. There's a lot of information out there. The days of the homeowner or the consumer or the service consumer, like the ostrich with their head buried in the sand, not knowing what's going on, just trust the realtor, just trust whoever, I don't care who it is, at this day and age, whatever service you're using, right, is over. The information's out there. Demand more numbers, demand information, demand to know the top 3 questions you should be asking your sales professional on homes. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Comment on the lines below. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. You other brokers, don't be thumbs down. Don't be thumbs down this video. But if you do, you do. That's it. See you next time.